if you can affect time by gravity, and if you can control gravity or create your own gravity, or create the anti-gravity, then indirectly you create a time machine.
Either that or you've ruined Einstein's work, Marnie.
No, but I think what they're doing with these all classified projects that they're doing on reverse engineering UFOs, I think they're time machines.
But the other thing with Einstein's theory is that speed affects time too. The faster you go, the slower time is. Yeah, the UFOs could very well be some form of time travel.
Yeah, I think outside of reverse engineering an existing UFO, we cannot come up with the concept ourselves because we think in that terms. Like,
yes,
okay, how can we move faster? But that's not the approach, maybe.
As time goes by, blah, blah, blah.
And that was it? What song is that?
I can't remember the rest. Something my mother used to sing all the time. Yeah. And also having thoughts about childhood, about time. Endless summer holidays. It was just an eternity. And it was wonderful. And what's happened now, Marnie? We're not children anymore, but time seems to have gone a little bit overboard with timing.
Yeah, it goes
so fast. Yeah.
It goes a lot faster. It's not even funny.
No, I wish it was.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, lack of time. I'm not sure, because when we were a kid, maybe it's not that much happening.
Yeah.
Or in our world, it's just we just play and
play some more.
Yeah, days are long, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have any responsibility. You don't have anything boggling your mind. So it's just like you just run wild and do whatever you want and play and eat and cry from time to time. No, but I think the responsibilities, the thoughts that you have constantly, like, or the worries that you have.
Yes.
Feeling anxious and feeling like you're behind. These are the things that are time consuming.
So how's this with theory? When we become a little older, we have more points of measurement for time. Therefore, time seems to go faster, maybe.
Like our perception makes it speed up.
Like if we're what you're saying, when we're children, and I agree with you, like it's like we kind of pretty much do the same thing all day when we're little kids, more or less. So, but then when we're responsible adults and we have many different things to take care of and worry about and think about and do, and cleaning houses and not crashing cars and things like that, it's like we have many more reference points during the day, and therefore the time probably seems shorter. That was a huge question, but
no, I think it wasn't a question, it was a statement.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree with it, by the way. I think because we have a lot going on, it seems like you don't feel the time passing by anymore.
Yep.
And you just come to yourself and realize, 8 hours passed.
Yes. Yeah.
As I was explaining to you, like yesterday, I was just working on the videos for the This Week podcast, and I sat down with it. And when I was done, I was like, "Wow, I worked like good 3 hours on this." Then I noticed it was like dark, and I was like, I look at the time, and it was 8 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
And in the middle of it, I was doing other stuff too. So it wasn't like only I sat down behind the computer. I was like making food and everything. And I was like, oh.
But I bet you were kind of pretty much enjoying what you did with the editing. Yes?
Yeah, I would say so.
Good. because that was the leading question. Because from my experiences of time, if it's something that we really focused on and really enjoy doing, they say time seemed to stand still. Maybe it wasn't quite still for you, but maybe slower than 8 hours. Yeah. And then if something unpleasant is happening to us, like we have some pain in our body we can't do anything about, or like a headache or something, it seems to go on forever, even if the actual time period is shorter than what we feel. Because, well, it's like we're stuck in the one thing.
Yeah, what is time then?
Yes, what is time? A measurement between 2 points, two activities. And that's not me saying that, that's what I have understood time is. And before we started this, we're having a little chat about such things. And a very wise person near to us was saying, okay, how would it be if we lived or existed in total darkness and had no reference points at all? How would we perceive time? And that's a really good point, that we need different happenings to relate to feel it. There was a distance between the two events. Which leads on to another aspect, another possibility of what time is about, the theory of entropy. This is not my invention at all. I'm not even sure if it's a complete picture of time, but the story goes like this, that time is caused actually by the Big Bang, and that in theory, before the Big Bang, there was just nothingness. There was not even nothingness. There was nothing. So how can there be time when there is nothing? And you need someone to observe time before it's real too. But then with the happening of the Big Bang, suddenly there's this explosion of things happening, of things being created. And that because of that, we have things to refer to. And right now we're in the middle of the process of entropy, the final endpoint of entropy, when everything is in a state of even disarray, if you like. So we're sort of apparently in the middle point of disarray, so it's easy to measure time. And I saw a little short video, and the guy used as an example, if you spray perfume in the room, in the beginning, it'll smell good just where it's been sprayed. So you can tell a difference. Here it smells good. Over here, there's no smell. Over there, there's some smell. But when the perfume has filled the whole room, that is complete entropy. And then you would not be aware of time again because everything is sameness.
Okay, I'm going to tell you my theory about Big Bang. Like how at the end of the day, it's like you have to make sense for yourself. That's how I make sense out of Big Bang for myself. Let's say you're a programmer, programming whatever, like you coding a game or coding a program. And you write all the codes, all the lines, and then after you're done and you test it, you hit like enter.
Yes.
You started it. I think that was the Big Bang.
Okay.
Like everything was dense in terms of like being programmed, and with the same concept that you start your computer, hit the power button.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like everything starts, everything opens up, all the codes or all the lines start to do the task that they've been given. And as you say, the entropy, the things moving forward and opens up and doing the things that they're supposed to do from the dense state of matter to being,
Or disperse. Yeah.
I don't know, but
Spreading out. It's
yeah, exactly.
dispersing. Yeah.
From a dense state of matter, it's just spreading around and dissolving and dividing into smaller pieces. And I think Big Bang was just a programmer
Okay.
hit.
Push go.
Yeah, exactly. Push the go button.
Boom.
And it started, it's like,
Yeah.
and it fits in very well in the simulation theory.
Aha.
Yeah.
Back there, are we? Okay.
Yeah, I guess when I say simulation theory, it's like it comes out of like, okay, it's like plastic. No. It can be as real and as natural as it gets. It's just there is a design behind it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah,
Either we believe like, no, everything just happened to be pure coincidence, or we believe there is a design behind it and intelligence behind it.
Yes. I do believe that, by the way. Yeah.
It's too good of a world and a space and universe to be just a coincidence.
Yes.
And I believe in everything like evolution. I agree. Like, not fully, I don't think like it's just happened that we human beings sitting here recording this podcast. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I think like some part of it, big chunk of it was evolution. But then it was like interfering from other.
Yeah, but that interference is a part of evolution too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you have it.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we are on the right track then.
Yeah. Well, what were we? Oh, yes, we were talking about time, weren't we?
Yeah. I know.
This
So-
is good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the concept of time has been created then.
Yes.
Because when it was dense and it was like everything was just, as you say, nothing. Because nothing and everything are the same.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just the difference, as you said, how you describe time is when you can measure a point from one thing to another thing.
Yes.
So when there is no other thing, there's just one. How can
Yes.
you measure anything? So there is no time then. And then entropy comes to the play.
Yes.
And entropy is like things dividing and getting
Yes.
smaller or in more pieces.
Yes.
Then you have the measurement of time. And weirdly, when it's a lot of things, time speeds up.
Yes. But just by the way, and it is a by the way, if you read the Taoist book Tao Te Ching, it actually describes that process. And they call it the dividing up, coming to the 10,000 things. Of course, there are more than 10,000, but that's, symbolically, from the oneness to 10,000 things, and on and on and on, and back again to the oneness. Yeah. That was an aside.
Yeah, exactly. As we were saying, so the entropy. So is it the entropy that creates time?
Well, no. Entropy is the process.
Or can I rephrase my question?
Yes.
Is it the entropy that control the speed of time?
No. I think that's our perception of it. If we didn't exist, entropy might still be happening, but who would be observing it? And therefore, would there be time? Because it is dependent on having an observer too, isn't it?
I think all of it is dependent on the observer effect.
Yes. Now,
Time, entropy,
I think we just,
universe itself.
I just think we hit on quantum physics here. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Now we're in trouble.
that's the thing that I'm really good at. Okay, let's get to the...
Well, actually, that brings us very smoothly into another aspect of time, which I feel is extremely important, even though it might not explain what time is, but it explains the effect. And that is dear old Einstein's theory of relativity, which the end result of shows that time is not constant as we think it is. You know, I mean, like probably all of us, you know, our version of time is there's a clock on the wall and every day it ticks the same amount of ticks and comes back to the same point and in theory goes on forever. But what dear Mr. Einstein has shown us is that actually that's an illusion. That time is very seriously influenced by gravity and by speed. And the clearest demonstration of this is our satellites that send us the lovely GPS signals that Miss Google so willingly shares with us. But because gravity slows time down, our time here on Earth is slightly slower than the time where the satellite is. So for us to receive the signal at the right time, somehow that needs to be adjusted. Don't ask me how that happens, but it does. Otherwise, the difference is enough that it could put us in the wrong place. So this is showing us this is not just a la-la theory, but there it is in practice, which most of us probably experience at some point.
And it's measurable.
Yes, of course, yeah. I can't, but some smart person can. But I just think that's fascinating that these theories, it's easy just to blah, blah off our heads theories, but there we have an actual daily use of that knowledge, you know. But you know what that also means? That if we stand up a lot, that our feet are younger than our heads, because our feet are closer to the planet, and in theory that there's time is slightly slower there than where our heads are. How about that?
So if you live in a 10th floor of an apartment or building,
time goes slightly faster than if you're on the
get
ground
older
floor.
faster.
Yeah, because you're further away
All
from the
you
planet.
billionaires that live in penthouses, calm down.
Yeah, you age faster on the top floor than the bottom.
Yeah, topest floor. Yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, what I'm thinking is if you can control or if you can affect time by gravity, and if you can control gravity or create your own gravity,
Well, some of
or
us,
create the anti-gravity, then indirectly you create a time machine.
either that or you've ruined Einstein's work, Moni.
No. It actually is just following up.
Yeah.
I'm about to release my studies. No, but I think what they're doing with these all classified projects that they're doing in all those black founded projects that they're doing on reverse engineering UFOs, I think they're time machines.
Wow, cool.
Because they have the anti-gravity kind of effect. That's why they can move almost instantaneously between 2 points.
Well, just on that, sorry, I'm not going to take you away from your theory, but the other thing with Einstein's theory is that speed affects time too. The faster you go, the slower speed. The faster you go, the slower time is. So it could. I'm just backing up what you're saying. That it could actually, UFOs could very well be some form of time travel.
Yeah, I think we cannot come up with the outside of reverse engineering an existing UFO. We cannot come up with the concept ourselves because we think in that terms.
Yes.
Okay, how can we move faster? But that's not the approach, maybe. How can we control gravity?
Yes.
Then we can control time. Then we can slow down the time. Then when you see it, you're like, wow, how did it move from here to here, like it's just like it's
Yes.
like
It's
disappear and appear. Like
that's right. It seems instantaneous, doesn't it? Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
it's not like they're going fast. It's slowing down the time, and
Yep.
I guess that's a
Yeah.
time machine effect. It's interesting just
Absolutely.
thought to have.
Yeah. Very much so. Oh, you might be onto something there, mister.
It's not necessarily, it's like they're time traveling from future to past. There is no future, past, present when you can control time.
No, it's all here.
It's all now.
Yeah. Oh,
You have access to the whole timeline. So who knows where the origin of it is? They've been observed even in like ancient paintings. They have paintings of these flying saucers in the sky or whatever, but you cannot just still say like, oh, so they are ancient. No, they can be from future. The origin of it can be in the future,
yes.
but at the same time, the origin of it can be in the past too. So there is no definite answer to that. To
Yes.
find the origin of it.
Yeah. For sure.
And then it's like the have you seen the symbol of serpent eating its own tail?
Yes.
It's like there is no beginning and end there.
Yeah. Eternity. Yeah.
There is no beginning and end, and that makes sense somehow.
Yes.
That makes sense that, okay, yeah, there is no beginning and end. So time is just the tool to measure something,
Yes. Exactly.
as you said, measure between one thing to another thing.
Yes. This leads me into another aspect of time too, and that is people who have the ability to travel astrally or travel in other dimensions. As soon as you get outside of where we are here in the third dimension, what you're saying becomes a reality, that there isn't that sense of time at all, nor space. And that's really hard for us to comprehend in the third dimension. But it's very real as soon as you move outside of this. And I do some of my work in other dimensions and experience this more or less on a daily basis. So I'm mentioning this now because I think what you're saying has a lot of truth in it about the UFO thing, but there are possibly different ways of moving through time, as it were, that we can even do it without a craft into certain dimensions. And maybe what we term UFOs, if they're time machines, are traveling on the third dimension, but in another way, something like that. And I'm realizing, Marnie, as we're blabbing away here, we have to think about our followers and thinking, okay, so what? What's the so what to do with how we get through our life better? Am I not wrong?
No. But
I mean, this is really, I love talking about this. But
I think we have a lot of time to talk about it first, then come up to
all right,
like
good.
day-to-day life.
Yep, fair
Because I
enough.
think there's a lot to say about time. There's a lot to say
yes.
about it kind of consuming our life.
Yeah.
Everything is dependent on time. That's why we call it lifetime. It was like
yeah.
your life, like recently was my birthday, and I was like, how the hell I turned 38? I was like, it doesn't feel like I lived 38 years. And
I can say the same at 71, Marnie.
exactly, yeah, you don't feel 71.
No.
There was a friend that watched our podcast and says like, oh, he doesn't look like 71. I was like, yeah, probably he doesn't feel 71 either.
A failed adult.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to fail at. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that if we have a good perception of what time is, then we can enhance our use from time.
Mm.
So if you want to go back to day-to-day life,
Yes.
if you have a good perception, not like just like, oh, time is 24 hours in a day, that's time, what the hell are you talking about? No, there's a lot more than that.
Yes, well said. I agree.
Your perception of time
Yeah.
can change the speed of it.
Yes.
Your mood,
Yes.
whatever happening to you, can speeds up or slows down the time that you consuming. How do you say, experiencing?
Experiencing it. Yes.
Yeah, it can change the speed of it, and it's all happening inside your head or your body.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is a very famous philosopher, Eckhart Tolle, who writes about this. I don't know if you've read his books. He has Power of Now and A New Earth. And those are both really focused on living in the moment, like this very second moment, not like generally la moment, but really our whole consciousness is in this very second. And it's been for me, one of the most profound learnings is to really be able to do that. And when I am in that state, it's like time really does come back to standing still, because all my thoughts, all my feelings, all my consciousness is connected to this very moment. And I pretty much feel that at the moment. I'm not trying to think about what to cook for dinner or is there enough gas in the car or anything. I really am putting my energy here and now. And I really have no idea how long we've been talking. And that's to me a good sign that, that to me is the most practical tool I have learned about utilizing time, is best as we possibly can do whatever we're doing, if we're scrubbing a toilet or sleeping or blabbing, whatever, to try and totally be there in that experience.
Being present.
Being present, yeah.
In the present time.
And dear Eckhart Tolle gives us specific instructions on how to do that too. It's not just a sort of wishful thinking, oh yes, now I'm present. He's got some good training in his books. And he doesn't pay me to say this, by the way. But
Bastard.
Yeah.
Joking.
He wouldn't mind. He's got good humor. So that's the wisest thing I can think to say about using time is being present in whatever we do. By the way, I do not succeed on that all the time. I would give myself about 65% score on that, but it's a big improvement over a few years ago, and I'm getting better as we do it.
65%, I would say, is enough, more than enough.
I'm pretty proud of that, especially if you know what an effective monkey brain that I have naturally. It's big progress. It is.
I think most of people live their life either in the near future or distant past.
Yeah, deciding whether to have vanilla ice cream or chocolate or for lunch tomorrow or whatever.
Or just think about their shortcomings and childhood drama, or like they forget that it's still happening.
Yes.
It's like, let's say, like, if something is happening, something that give you chance every day. It's happening. And you, at some point, you stop paying attention to, like, oh no, there's a new page, or there's a new whatever sheet. There's a new day, whatever you want to call it. They stop. They either consider themselves losers or like, okay, that's it for me. I'm not going to have any other shots. And that's why I think that's the measurement for like how old you are.
Good point. Yeah.
If your focus and if your memories get stronger than your dreams and your desires for the future, then you're old.
Gee, that's deep, Marnie. Wow, that's really cool. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah. Oh, that's really good.
I cannot take the credit for it.
It doesn't
Probably
matter.
heard
I
it
do it
somewhere.
anyway. Yeah. No
I
one
don't
will
remember
notice.
where I heard it from, but I heard it somewhere. So I think if your will to create, to make changes in your life, or look forward to what's ahead, is less than just looking back at your life and like remember memories, either good or bad, doesn't matter, then you're old. And you
Yes.
got old.
Yes.
Because the will to continue and create more and appreciate the present time is weaker than just to sit down and go backwards and look
Yeah.
back at your life.
And as an addition to that, also maybe like holding on to old anger, of things past. I mean, who do you hurt? Not the person you're angry at, that's for sure. And old fears too. If a fear comes up, good to deal with it and release it and move on, as you say.
Okay, in my personal life, I always look forward. And sometimes I feel like I do too much. I mean, I look forward and I live in now and like a near future. I always erase my past. Almost. And I don't think that's that. I don't think that's healthy either. But I don't even look at my pictures on my phone that I took before. Like when my iPhone says like, "Oh, here's the picture from this day and memories from that," I'm like, "Good one." I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't enjoy that time or that memory that it tried to suggest to me, but
you've let it go already.
it feels like I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be sentimental about my past.
Sure.
And it's not only because like I'm young or whatever, I feel young. No, I don't feel that young either. Because a lot happening, as we say, like time is speed up when a lot happening in your life. You can live 20 years and a lot happen to you that you feel like you're 50. And some people are mature enough as when they're 20, you talk to them and you're like, man, you sound like you've been around the block and you have this deep understanding of everything. It feels like I cannot believe you're only 20. And that's the thing. It speeds up. Like you experience the amount of experience that you have is matching the 50-year-old or 60-year-old. So I don't feel like I'm like this just young buck in the living my life. No. I feel like I've lived like, I don't know.
You're wiser than your years, as they say. Yeah.
I don't know about wiser, but a lot of things happen to me.
Yeah.
Because wise being the sense of like I learned from everything that happened. I'm not sure I did that, but a lot happened to me. So maybe that's the reason I'm just focusing on what is now, what I can do now. It's like I divide everything to two categories: things that I can change, things that I cannot change, or if I want to rephrase it, things that I can affect and things that I cannot affect. Like do something about it. And I do the things that I can do about the things that I can affect and do something about it. And I think about those things that I cannot affect. So come up with some type of plan to be able to change them and affect them in a way that serves me. So, but most of my focus is now, and the part that I said like near future is just to like how I can change the things that is not possible to change or do something about right now. And I noticed like it gives me more time somehow. The days just don't go pass by
Oh,
and lose kind of meaning. Like, oh yeah, it's Sunday, Monday. Oh no, it's Wednesday. You know what I mean? It's like you almost lose time. And at the end of the day, maybe not enough people talk about it. Time is only currency that actually exists. Like it should be based on time. Everything should be based on time. Because that's the most valuable thing that you can have.
yes.
It's a funny thing. It's like, oh, time, health, and money. And it's like, oh, there's a guy that have money but have no time and health. It's like a funny meme.
Yeah,
And
I know.
it's like
yeah.
when you're young, you don't have money, you have time and health. But when you're like old, you have money, you don't have health and time. It's like it's never all together.
Yes.
Like you have all of it. But of course, you can manage to have all of it if you balance your life correctly, if you plan and do things and appreciate the present. That's why it's called present.
Yeah.
It's a present.
Yes.
It's a gift being given to you. So,
Yeah. I another aspect of time that, well, it's a little different from what we're talking about, but I think it's good to have as a consideration that here in this third dimension on this planet, time and dimension are tools that really make this place special. If we are not here and out floating around in the cosmos as spirit beings again, it's really not always so easy to be able to experience life as we do here on the planet. Time and space give us a structure to be able to focus, to be able to create, to be able to concentrate on specific things. Maybe it's a bit hard to really understand that because we think we've always been like this, but we're not. We're here on this planet. And my understanding, it's a very unique environment to be in. And you know, just to back up what you're saying, really, Marnie, I think time is such a valuable gift that this place has for us. But along with that, space too, dimension.
I think I'm fascinated with all the topics that comes to play when we were trying to explain the reality, explain this fourth dimensional world that we live in, and how there are anomalies, there are things that we cannot explain with our understanding of physics and even quantum physics. But time, two things are like kind of is like hard to get a grasp on: time and consciousness. And they're related, by the way.
For sure.
Yeah. I think if we can have some type of control over our time, know that we have some type of control, how we experience, how our perception can change the duration of time. Because you don't have to have a scientific method to figure it out. If you plank, as I do recently, time slows down in a most disturbing way.
Oh.
It's like 1 minute, it feels like, I feel every second of it. And because I want it to be over. I want it to go fast. And I mean almost pain, not pain, but like I'm holding on. But when I watch something that I like, or like, I don't know, watch YouTube and it's like, 2 hours passed. So it's your perception. If you're uncomfortable, if you're doing something that is hard, time slows down. But if you're doing something that is pleasurable, Time can speed up, and anybody can have that. Anybody can experience that. It's not
Yes.
like, oh, you have to be in the lab with the lab code and
No.
write down a formula and equation to be able to figure that out. So your perception can change the duration of time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, but I want to hop in there and say that I absolutely agree with you, and I experience that on a very much daily basis. But the thought came to me just while you're talking there, Marnie. We always have the idea that time has to fit the original picture of what we think of as time as 24 hours a day, constant. But that's just one perception of time. And what we experience when we're in the dentist chair or having lovely music or whatever it is, I mean, that's also a very valid form of time. It doesn't have to match the clock time to be real. And that's what I'd like to say to our followers, that believe it, create your own time, your own perception of time, and know that it's absolutely real.
And the other aspect of it is that if you get out of this four-dimensional reality or simulation, then how do you experience time? As you said, like,
Well, you don't. Well, not in the same way.
How can you experience things then? How can you have any perception on anything?
That's the good thing about here, that we can experience things with time and dimension better. In other dimensions, there's still an awareness of being. There's still there is still things happen still, but somehow one is aware of everything else that has and will happen too. It's all there at once. It's not separated. Whereas down here, we can't remember what happened yesterday often. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We have focus on this moment. But without that, it's still there. This moment's still there, but so are the ones before and after it. Forever. So that to me is really the beauty of being here, that we are just in this particular moment, whichever moment it is, but we are, if we're smart enough, we keep our focus there and experience it fully. So it sounds a bit fluffy, doesn't it? But that's...
No, it actually makes sense. But to experience something,
yeah,
like you have to concentrate on like a one part or one, for the lack of better term, time. For a specific point in time.
Yeah.
You have to focus in it.
Well,
you cannot have past, present, future all available, all presenting to you, and be able to experience any of it.
No, but that's what we're doing here and now.
Yeah.
Making this podcast.
Yeah, that was my question to you. Yeah. How do those entities that live outside of maybe fifth dimension or whatever dimension, not in this four-dimensional reality, how do they experience anything?
Well, they still can, but they have...
I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, you're not.
So you can wander with me. I don't.
Well, I kind of do, because I spend some of my time out in other dimensions. So I'm still being a human form of me doing that.
Yeah.
But I experience, when I'm outside of this fourth dimension, a sense of oneness. It's not a sense, it's a oneness. It's a connection with absolutely everything. And even saying everything sounds a bit stupid because, well, there's another Taoist term, microcosm is macrocosm. That is, the tiniest particle is also the largest in the cosmos. And that's a natural, real thing when you're outside of this dimension. One is aware that, okay, I'm little me, but I'm everything. So That's not really answering your question, but it's the best I can do, because I'm still aware of, for example, this moment if I was out in the next dimension, but everything else is connected to it. So there is still consciousness in this moment, absolutely. But it's seen and perceived in a different way.
If you're connected to the higher dimensions or our higher being, our higher self,
Which we all are anyway.
let's just have that as a preterm. Then this version of us is just a concentrated version that can experience things very precisely.
Yes.
And like kind of focused.
Yes.
On this time, this place.
Yeah.
And it's almost like,
Perfect.
you've been held by time and space.
Yes.
And gravity.
and for want of a better way to describe it, the price we pay for that is we are not conscious of the past or the future. And that's deliberate. It's not a mistake. It means that we can then put our attention to this moment.
Mm. It's like watching a movie.
Yes. Well, it's like watching every movie that ever was all at once.
No, but when you're in the four-dimensional world.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, it is.
It's like you're watching a movie that you don't have any control over the timeline of it. You cannot fast forward.
No. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry, Marnie.
And if you try to rewind what happened, you're gonna miss
the next.
And that sounds a lot like life. Like when you focus on or just focus on your past, you lose all the opportunities, and you just waste your present day, present moment.
My description of all that is me, this being with a physical body, when I'm traveling to other dimensions. But those beings that don't have physical bodies, they probably have another way of perceiving things which I don't know about. So there's certainly more to answering your question than what I've just said.
I think these are the things that we need to learn in school about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Time. What is time? How much time you have? Do you think you don't have enough time? Then you have to adjust something in your life. And by adjusting something in your life, it means your perception of time, perception of what is happening around you. And
man, you just brought me into a situation where I can blab on one of my favorite topics.
Yes.
And that is, it's a Taoist term, which is Wu Wei, which means effortless doing. And it's totally about what you just said, about time, if we have enough, too much, too little, whatever. And the literal translation of Wu Wei is something like effortless doing or doing without doing. But what it actually means is when we learn to follow the natural flow of our own life and get it in harmony with the flow of nature, flow of the whole cosmos, then there is always enough time, and we're always in the right place at the right time. And in my opinion, the last 200 years or so with the Industrial Revolution, we have been forced out of our natural life cycle, a life rhythm, which we all have. It's inbuilt in us. It's nothing we have to learn. But we can learn to come back to that, or unlearn all the stuff we've been taught about at school, about having to compete and having to be effective and productive and be clever and be better than your neighbor. We can let go of all that and come back just to being us. Then we will find our natural Wu Wei, as it were, our natural flow. And then there will be enough time. Having said that, that's a big lesson to unlearn all that stuff. One which I'm in the process of myself right now.
If you want to go back to, let's say, in a quantum level of things matters, everything happening simultaneously.
Yes.
Like they measure when it comes to quantum computers, they don't compute in the same way as like normal computers. Bits and like
It's a bit
one and zeros.
Bit of an understatement there.
It's like it feels like in a quantum level of matters, time doesn't exist or exist in a whole.
Yes, a oneness.
Yeah, it's like past, present, future. It has all of it.
Yes.
That's why it's like, because it was there was this scientist talking about the photosynthesis happening in plants. Apparently, a plant simultaneously, like with no time, can see endless possible ways to bring the nutrition to the leaves or whatever part of it, and it chooses the best one, like instantly.
Wow.
So that quantum computing happening in the plant. So that shows that we as human, our perception of time can easily change if we develop, if we be able to compute in a quantum level of matter. And I don't know how, maybe I'm very, very wrong about it to say that, but I think our perception, I think we have the ability to, with our perception and our minds or our intuition or whatever you want to call it, whatever we are, the whole package, mind, body, heart, soul, everything, that we slow down time and have access to past, present, future simultaneously. Like, or I don't know, maybe when we die, it happens. Maybe the purpose of being in the body and being in the space and time, being in space and time dimension is to experience it separately.
Yes.
But still, we can enhance our experience and we can slow down time by changing our perception and focusing and
definitely
focusing on now, here and now, more, if not all of our focus be on
best as we can at
here
least.
and now.
Yeah. I think what you just said really kind of really pulls it all together beautifully, Marnie, that being in the here and now. It sounds like a cliche, but it's a very, very practical one. And maybe as a backup to that, be like a kid, play with life. Because children don't think out or analyze when they're playing, do they? They just, well, I didn't. I just went out and made things in the mud or not, or whatever. It's like when we're playing, we're really in our hearts, we're really in our feelings, and then we're really in the moment. So I think we're taught to take life too seriously. I don't mean we should be nonchalant and silly, but have a sense of play and humor and fun with life. Then we stay in the moment more. Yeah,
but if we have one interesting topic that just came.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah. There are plenty of anomalies with time that has been recorded all over the globe.
Yes.
So apparently it's been proved that intense electromagnetic fields can affect time.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So there are a few locations around the world known for strange phenomena that could potentially explain by Telluric currents. Have you heard about Telluric currents? Maybe I'm mispronouncing it, but it's also affect the Devil's Triangle near Japan. it also affects the Bermuda Triangle. They found very intense electromagnetic fields there.
I also know there's one in the South Atlantic where planes are not allowed to fly over.
Yeah, exactly. South Atlantic, what was it?
Anomaly.
Uh,
Yeah.
Time vortex, they call it.
Okay.
But I want to see the place. By the way, in Egypt, pyramids create that magnetic field too.
Okay.
So,
that's interesting. I'm wondering also, there's the CERN machine, I forgot what it's called, the CERN activator in Geneva, in Switzerland, which is deep underground. It's very big, but it's actually under part of Geneva. I wonder if they're experiencing anything there, because I know they work with, what's the word, black holes, and the concept of creating a black hole, splitting particles and things.
Oh, you talk about CERN?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to create I forgot the term for it. What they call the machines.
Higgs boson particle.
Yeah, but it has another term that they call it.
Okay.
Anyway,
I've driven over the top of it and nothing happened. I was disappointed. Sorry.
No. It's very interesting, and it's a little creepy because they have this symbol of the Indian god. They have this sculpture that is the god of destruction.
Shiva.
Shiva. Yeah. And they have it. It's like
I didn't know that.
It pisses me off. This symbolism they call it. This symbolism, and they try to I don't know why they have on all the missions, NASA missions, Apollo. And it's and they have Egyptian hieroglyphic on it, on the spaceships and rockets, and it's this weird symbolism. But
maybe they want to confuse the aliens if they happen to crash.
They confuse us.
Oh yeah, well,
they're confusing us. But doing that, it's you are in this, you are into this type of rituals and ancient mythology, as you would like to call it, but it feels like it goes a lot deeper, and they have different understanding of it than they try to represent. Anyway, we cannot prove anything. South Atlantic anomaly, where the Van Allen radiation belt is very close to the Earth.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Van Allen radiation belt is very close, so it creates this strong magnetic field, and it can creates anomalies and things.
Oh wow, yeah.
It only gives more power to the simulation theory. Do you remember way back in 2000s? Way back. For me, it's way back. In 2000, when you were sitting behind the computer and your mobile phone ringed, it was you see some type of kind of signals. It's disturbing your screen.
I kind of forgotten that, but I believe you.
Yeah. So it was whenever your phone was about to call, a few seconds or milliseconds before your phone actually rings. Before your phone actually rings, you see noises on the screen. So
okay.
I think in these anomalies is like that, when too much radiation or electromagnetic field get close to what is actually happening in this simulation that we live in.
Yes,
it creates anomalies, opens up portals sometimes.
Yeah,
and
not quite to do with time, but closeness of other dimensions. I think that there's a system of what we call ley lines and energy points around the planet.
Grid lines.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have had an experience, or several experiences, with one in Scotland. It's actually my ancestral home too.
Where in Scotland?
It's the island of Iona, which is actually where Christianity first came to that part of the world. But when you're there, it's like a feeling that the whole universe is right there with you. Like, and someone has written on the wall there, and Iona, the difference between here and there is paper thin. And that's how it feels too. It feels like just feeling that the whole beingness of the universe is right there on that tiny little island.
Wow.
And that is a point where the ley lines meet. Special ley lines. I don't understand the whole system, but the most non-sensitive person could not avoid feeling something very special at that place. And I'm mentioning it in relation to time because it is that feeling of oneness with everything, that every moment in existence is there on that little rock of an island.
Wow. Feels like we can talk about time in endless time.
Endless time is on Iona.
But it's attached to all the interesting topics, anomalies and time. It's like it's the only thing that anyone can talk from their personal experience.
Yes.
And
we all have those, don't we?
Yeah.
Plenty of them. It's really exciting. Yeah.
But there is a lot more left to talk about, but I think maybe we can talk about time travel and time anomalies next time.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Next time we talk about time, we can talk about time anomalies and time traveling.
Wow, that would be amazing. That was one of my fantasies as a child, is to travel in time. Maybe it was for many of us.
Let's make it come to fruition.
Yes.
Let's create your time machine.
Oh, wow.
Where would you go if you had a time machine? If you get one is not fair. If you get 3 locations in any time.
And my first feeling for that is a couple of thousand years in the future.
Oh.
To see.
Oh, wow.
To see what happened. To see how we got out of this mess the planet's in.
That was a very interesting question, because I was expecting you to say like, "Oh, I'm going to Egypt. I'm going to see dinosaurs." Like I was thinking about only past times.
Sorry.
But you said the first answer was like, no, you don't have to be sorry. It was very fascinating that the first thing you see was 3,000 in the future.
Well, why I answer that is because I still have a lot of memories of old lifetimes.
Oh.
So that's sort of a bit old hat, I'm used to that stuff, but I'm not used to the future. I'm just always curious to know what happens next anyway, in my own life, on the whole planet, the whole cosmos. So a couple of thousand years should show us if we got out of this or not.
Very interesting.
How about you?
I think I always was fascinated with how they built the pyramids. So I want to be there, whatever time it is.
Yes.
Whatever timeline. Because I don't think it's 5,000 years ago.
No.
But whenever it was, I want to be there. I want to see.
Cool. Yeah.
And I want to get close. Because let's imagine we're in time machine. We're not present there physically. Even if we are, we're not going to get affected by the...
No. Well, you wouldn't be allowed to interfere with that time anyway, so I suppose you're watching from
No.
from a
I just want to observe it. But at the same time, I'm thinking about like I want to see the Big Bang. But then I will be destroyed if I go there like in my physical form. So Maybe the Big Bang was like a, a small puff. They call it a Big Bang, but it was like
Maybe your desire to see the Big Bang cause the darn thing in the first place.
yeah. I want to, I want to witness it. And the third one, what would I like to see? The future was a very interesting answer. I don't have as interesting answer as you, but I think pyramids, Big Bang,
Wow.
and the first human. I want to see how they created it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
That would be good.
I want to witness that. I want to witness Adamu. I want to see the whole process of it. Anunnakis, and if it was the way that the story comes about. Our intelligence race of beings.
Yeah. Good. I like to be with you on those journeys too. That sounds really good.
Of course. It's our time machines.
Yeah, of course.
We share custody.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. It was a good one.
Till next time.
Yeah. I see what you did there. Great. Good stuff.